Hello, welcome to episode 2. So there was something I didn't mention in the first episode, that in the description to the video, there's a link to the Coptic alphabet. I suggest that you have it in a tab separate to the video, and every time I'm looking at a letter in a word, you should pause and then go back to that tab so that you can look at the letters and see the different pronunciations, or you could print it out and have it beside you, and if you wanted to make any notes on the paper, you could. With that being said, we'll move into lesson 2, where we have a longer word with a few familiar letters, with 2 different rules that I have in blue and I have in red. First thing, when I'm looking at a very long word, instead of getting confused, I'm gonna look through all the different syllables. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, if I look at it this way, it's much more easier for me to break everything down. So let's start with the beginning. Last time we saw epsilon after an O, where we said it sounded like U and ipuro. This time, it's before the letter E that we saw before. In this case, it is going to be a V. Therefore, the epsilon becomes a V. So, therefore, this part here is going to be ev. Okay? Moving on. Now I have this letter, these 2 letters. This is called a lulla. You might have seen it. They call it lambda in math. It's an L. And then we've seen the O before. Now we have a gamma, which it sounds like a G, but there's 3 distinct rules. We'll get into it later. However, in this case, if it is just following a single vowel, in this case the iota is a vowel, it is going to sound like a G. Not like a J, but like a hard G, like G. And then the iota we saw before, it just makes an EE sound. Now, if we have this letter, which looks like a W in the English language, like a cursive W, flip it around, it's like an M. And then we've seen the EH. And then these 2 letters we've seen, N and O. And then the C, which looks like an English language, but in Coptic, it's an S. Okay, so let's put it all together. It's going to be Ev. Oops, 1 second. Lo. Gi. And then the rest. Me. Nos. If lo menos, which of course is a hymn that we hear in Palm Sunday, it means blessed. However, this is a Greek word, not a Coptic word, because blessed would be if it's maru'ut. Okay, so I will write just along here, blessed. Okay, so let's summarize what we went over today. 2 really main lessons. We also, aside from last time, we also got accustomed to 3 new letters. Number 1, the lola. 2, the M, and 3, the C, which is an S. So, if epsilon is after E, then it becomes a V put together, ev. If a vowel is after the gamma, it's a G. Okay, so there are other cases where the gamma will act differently, and we will look at those separately. However, these are the 2 main lessons for today, and we will see you on the next episode.